A graphic organizer is a visual and graphic display that depicts the relationship between facts, terms, and or ideas within a learning task. So there are other names for graphic organizers that some of you may have heard, like knowledge maps, concept maps, story maps, cognitive organizers, advanced organizers, or concept diagrams. Graphics are really powerful in that they're able to transcend language barriers. One of the things you may hear artists say sometimes is this idea that a picture is worth 1,000 words. I researched that saying, and I don't think it comes from Confucius. It actually comes from a newspaper editor in Florida. His name was Tess Flanders. The point of his statement was not to be in any way condescending to people that write words or that art and graphics are more important. He was actually talking about advertising. He was talking about the power of the image in the mind. And we think through pictures. We don't think with words. And that's why images are so powerful. And that's what he's trying to tap into, whether it is by how you write a slogan and you create an image in the head, or whether it's through pictures. Those of you that have read a Stephen King novel, you know that in a few words, he can create pictures in your head that are quite powerful. These simple ideas, banking, for example, or judging, you and I would agree, this makes it even more powerful to look at the word thinking and see a little diagram, a little icon of a brain, or aspiration, seeing the rocket ship 10 miles per hour, and the artist literally just puts things that move that fast next to it, taken information of numbers and made it even more powerful by putting this infographic next to it. Different ways to do graphic organizers, and there's a continuum of them being more like storyboarding and more illustrated to more of a simple flowchart without any art. Most of you are familiar with flowcharts, and you know there are different symbols that you use as you're trying to help people navigate a flowchart. This is a substantial graphic organizer. Well, I think of the flowchart having this kind of chronological or sequential quality to it as it's bringing in things like different type and tools and purpose all together, and then having these little images that help make it more interesting. I went to a conference on graphic organizers. The person doing the talk was not an artist, and they were just talking about the value of being able to think in images and to mind map out ideas. And they're talking about how important visuals are in helping us process ideas and information. I honestly believe the more artistic you are, the more creative you can be with graphic organizers, and I think it's empowering to be able to illustrate, to be able to draw things out. Some artists will look at this as a way to explore out your equipment, your tools. If you're excavating or you're doing landscaping or doing things and you kind of graph it out, you start rotate your plants. I mean, there's ways you can really use your ability to write and sketch and diagram to really be efficient, to be creative, and to push things further than you maybe normally would. How much does your ability to illustrate and sketch things out and push things play into it? And you have a whole spectrum. A graphic organizer to make a movie, which we call storyboarding, or a flowchart with no art. That's the kind of range we're talking about here. And I would argue the more you can illustrate and draw, the more empowering it is for you to be able to create these type of charts. So what does a graphic organizer do? It helps us learn without being bored. It enhances our recall, so our ability to remember has been proven that if we can tag information with an image, it's easier for recall. It helps motivate us when we have these kind of images to push through and figure out how to kind of classify all the information in our brain. There's no reason why your graphic organizer shouldn't be interesting, even entertaining. You can put humor in a serious graphic organizer if you think it will help the person remember things. I've had students do this with Renaissance graphic organizers, put in little jokes and funny things. It makes it so much more interesting. These are our goals with this graphic organizer. As you pick out a topic from the Renaissance, your job will be Just as you say, I want to study feminism during the Renaissance. I want to study warfare during the Renaissance. Or I want to study specifically Raphael. Is you need to teach us as fellow classmates and teacher new information, because you're going to pick a topic and you're going to go deeper. You know, I have a general knowledge of the High Renaissance and these different artists, but as you pick an artist and you go deeper with it, your knowledge base is going to go past what we know. And that's what I want for this graphic organizer, is you just get a frantic pace to start writing notes down, doing sketches on one sheet of paper, on the front only, little drawings and notes.